Hello, welcome back to Clarity and Crystals, where we discuss everything from the magic to the mundane. It's been a while. I have not been on here to record a video in quite a while. Life was lifing, life got busy. I had a birthday. We did some vacations, trips, all the things, and I just let this take the back burner. But I wanted to come back today and talk a little bit about values. So, what are the things that you hold most dear to yourself? I don't know if you've ever done a value quiz or a value test or the things they give you a list of 50 and you're supposed to narrow them down to 10 things, 10 topics, 10 categories, and then take those 10 categories and narrow them down to three. And those top three are your highest values that you set for yourself for your life. I did that and I've actually done it a couple times. And it's interesting to me that my values pretty much stay the same. And no matter what season of life I've been in, freedom and adventure are my top two values. And life, as I said, had been lifing pretty hard. And we recently were on a work trip. And um, the state of affairs lately with traveling and stuff, and all over social media was talking about how bad the airports were and things like that. And I just set an intention that I was going to be free and I was going to have an adventure no matter what. So I booked our trip. We were going to the Hot Springs Association and it was in Calistoga, California. And I've never been there before, but we were supposed to fly into Santa Rosa. I was renting a car. It was just my business partner and I were going for this trip. And we were just going to do 2 nights. The trade show was only one day, and so we'd fly back the following day. Well, my flight was pretty straightforward. There was no wait through security lines. I got on the plane nice and easy. I had a layover in Vegas, and whenever I got, I guess, my first layover, I found out that my business partner's flight had totally gotten canceled and that she was trying to work on rerouting her flight. Well, she was in the midst of rerouting. I started looking at where we were landing and the different things like that. And anywhere, if we go anywhere near the ocean, my ultimate goal is to be able to get over to the ocean and see the water. So as I was in the air and I was looking at the map where I was landing and knowing that my business partner was not going to get there at the same time that I was supposed to be, she was going to be delayed. And I would have, ultimately, what I found out was I would have 2 hours to kill, almost 3 hours to kill before she was going to land. And we had scheduled a mud bath adventure that we were going to do because we were in the midst of Napa Valley and the hot springs. So, when in the hot springs, you do hot springs things, and one of those was a mud bath. So, we had that scheduled for the night, but I was able to reschedule it for the following night. And I knew I was going to have the car rental to myself. So, I'm like, why not? So I am 45-minute drive from the ocean and let's do it. So I got everything lined out, knew when she was going to land, and got in the car and set my map to it was Goat Rock Road or Goat Bridge Road or something like that. That was a viewpoint lookout for the ocean. And I got in the car and this whole feeling, this sensation of freedom just washed over me. And I could tell my vibration just elevated out of this world. And I felt so open, so free, so adventurous. And I drove these back roads and I saw these huge trees and I had my music playing. And of course, the Gangsters Paradise started playing. And I just felt the most amazing sense of freedom. And I hadn't felt that in a long time. And I had forgotten what it felt like. And from that moment, when I pulled into the parking lot and I walked out on the overlook and I could see the ocean, I saw the waves, I saw the rocks, and I was transported to this other time and place. And it was the most magical feeling that I had had in a long time. And I remembered why freedom and adventure was a number one value for me. And I didn't want to lose that. And I kept that feeling inside, and I kept that feeling wrapped around me through the whole time we were there. And the whole town, I even found an old school metal plates gym. If you work out, you know what I'm talking about. The old school gym that has the metal plates that clang whenever you're racking your weights, and just the community and the coffee shop and just the whole experience. I just keep saying that, but the whole experience was magical, and it checked all the boxes. And whenever I got into the plane after the trip and I was flying back home, I just felt this tremendous sense of release. And I was transported. I was transported to this place of high frequency, high vibration, and I just felt so free and so good inside. And I wanted to hang on to that. And it made me realize that I had been putting my power in the hands of others. I haven't been giving things away, and I've been leaking my energy, and I hadn't been holding it tight. And I haven't been finding those magical moments that keep me grounded and that keep me sane. And that little bitty trip and that one moment of, I'm not going to cuss, but of Emmett, I'm taking this a moment, I'm taking this adventure. And I jumped in the car and I just drove, and I played my music, and I took a different route home and back to the airport, and I was zipping through the curves and had a motorcycle behind me, and we were just, banking through the curves and everything. And that trip just really set the tone for what I needed to remember and what I want to live my life every day. And I want everything in my life to feel free and full of adventure. So I just wanted to share that story with you. I wanted to ask you, what are your values? Are you living your values? Are you keeping your values tight to you? Are you making sure that you set a standard for yourself of, these are the things that I hold dear, these are the things that are important to me, and these are the things that I'm going to stack up every decision by? Does this make me feel free? Does this fulfill my bucket of adventure? Does this help? Am I in integrity with myself? Those are very high values in my life. So I just wanted to share that story with you. That was a quick and easy video for today. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. If you have any questions, you can find me at clarityandcrystals.com. If you want to book your own, get a clarity moment, you can do that there as well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Until next time, have a wonderful and magical day.